The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Before we get started, want to remind everyone I'm taping a special in Seattle on December 16th. That's coming up in almost 2 weeks now. In Seattle. Oh shit. Noah and I was like, what is that sound? It sounded like a broken dog toy.
I turned it into a dog toy.
Halloween decoration that makes
Yeah, it did. Like a windy witch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you sound like a windy witch. Compliment.
Yeah, there's 2 shows on December 16th on Saturday, and want besties to go. Really want to populate the crowd with them. I'm taping the special for a
Really populate the earth.
reputable. Yeah. I really want. I'm going to start my own cult. Triplet Flames. Yeah, and so there are tickets still available. I think mainly there's single tickets, a lot of single tickets. I think not a lot, but enough to the first show if you want to go alone, and then to the second show for sure. There's many, and then I have lots of shows coming up this weekend. Toronto. Last time I was there, I kept saying Toronto, and everyone was like, "It's Toronto," and I'm like, "Well, then tell your city's spelling because there's an extra T in there, and I like to hit it."
Yeah.
Toronto,
Yes.
right? But I'm not going to say that in Toronto this weekend.
Louisville.
Louisville, yeah, that's but that's like south, like Toronto. You'd think Canadians would be meticulous about hitting every syllable.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It's not New York City.
Say,
Yeah.
and then Toronto, and then Munhall, Pennsylvania, which is really very close to Pittsburgh. I don't know why all of my things say Munhall because that's not helpful to literally anyone. It's not like I don't know the little cities outside St. Louis. So if someone was like, "I'm coming to Munhall, Missouri," if that was nearby, I wouldn't know, and then I would just miss it because that's Pittsburgh if you're in the area, and then Saturday in Detroit. And
It's
tonight
Detroit.
at the Funny Bone. Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit. And then, tonight in St. Louis. So I have 4 nights in a row, I think.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling 2 weeks ahead of your special?
Exhausted. I am chronically tired. And it's not because of the special, I don't think. I'm just like, it's never enough. I always want to get back in there whenever I wake up, even if it's a nightmare. I want to get back in my nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get back. I had a nightmare about Marilyn Manson had snuck me on a spaceship with a really hot blonde girl, and he was making us make out, and I really didn't want to, and I couldn't find my shoes, and I wanted to go work out. It's the whole thing.
Wow. I feel like who's Marilyn Manson? Is that Chris?
Me. No, Marilyn Manson, I think, is. Well, I watched Fargo last night, the new season.
Yeah.
Do you watch that?
I wish I did, but I just can't.
I've never. What do you mean you can't?
There's no reason why I haven't watched it. I heard it's amazing. It's right up my alley.
Have you ever watched it like ever in the history of it's season 5? I think I've never watched any season. I have only seen the movie Fargo, which is nothing like the show.
Right.
But I'm watching the new season, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Keely from Ted Lasso's in it, but she doesn't talk like this.
Oh shit.
She talks like, oh yeah, we gotta go get the groceries, and oh my god, it's snowing outside, and everyone has this like really, I guess it's the Minnesota accent sounds fake, especially when you expect the person saying it to sound very British.
Yeah, she's British, right?
I think she's British as fuck, man. Like, but who knows? Maybe she's putting on that accent for Ted Lasso. No, I think she's very British, but she is nailing that accent, and she's great in this. And but it's so scary. There's this one scene in the first episode, spoiler alert, but it's not like it's early in the episode, so I don't know if that counts as a spoiler. I'm bad at spoilers. I'm sorry, everyone. I know I ruin everything for you, but like maybe this is the way you're supposed to hear it the first time, and maybe you can have the same kind of shock that you would in this moment. But it happens like within the first, I would say, 15 minutes of the episode, probably earlier.
It happens within the first 15 episodes.
Yeah. We watched 3 episodes last night. It was a lot, but it's so scary. I would never be able to watch this alone. Never.
What is scary? Is it like monster scary or like murder
No,
scary?
It's murder scary. It's like psychopath, mean people scary. John Hamm plays a really bad person, and man, does he play it well. He does a better job of playing mean people than nice people, which, wonder why. So read Kathy Griffin's book. So I read his chapter.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it's also makes him 3-dimensional because he presents himself like a nice guy, and so when he's mean, it like really adds to the realism.
He's scary as fuck, man.
Yeah.
You don't want to get on his bad side. That Don Draper, that like the stern Don Draper comes out. That's why I think he's more like, I think he is like Don Draper. There's 2 sides to that guy. But he is evil in this. So scary. He has his nipples pierced, which is weird. I don't even know how they fake that.
You can't be good when you have nipples pierced.
Yeah, that barreled chest with those nipples pierced. And then at one point he gets out of a tub, and he notoriously is packing because which is none of our business.
Packing is a gun or balls?
Come on.
Ham. John Hamm's ham.
Do you not remember all the pictures?
He's got that ham bone.
You don't remember this?
I don't seek out John Hamm's cock.
Neither did I, but they were everywhere.
It was everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere?
really. Noah, do you remember?
I
Yes.
say they're everywhere, but somehow
It's coming through your window right now.
What?
I see it. Yeah. Why is it on your screen? Yeah, it's zooming in. So he gets out of a hot tub, and
Oh, hell yeah.
he had to have had that thing tucked up because the way his legs are spread, you would be able to see it through the back. Like, we only see a backside shot.
Oh,
yeah.
So the whole time I'm like waiting for it to drop because like a rap album, but then it never does.
Well, hot tub though, that's shrinkage. Just George Costanza.
No, that's hot.
Yeah, but
Hot
a hot
tub.
tub's hot, right? So
I know,
it'll shrink.
cold is shrinkage.
I feel like it'll shrink either way.
Well, that's
Just
your
the-
experience. We just learned something about you.
Yeah, mine
No, a
actually
hot
gets
tub makes it loose.
mine gets really big and cold.
Wait.
whoa.
Yes, the opposite. Wait, I
Balloons.
was thinking the other day that like, because I'm talking about in my set, I'm talking about like how your vagina like changes shape as you get older, and like, gravity just takes hold of everything. And men must be excited about gravity for their dicks. Right?
Well-
Like when it gets older, it gets saggier. They must like the sagginess for their penis. I know not for your balls. That's probably annoying.
The problem is the balls, which are outside our body, which is I think a design flaw. But they do. I have heard tale that as you
Why
get older,
would that be outside?
just to keep it cooler, it needs to be 2 degrees cooler so that the sperm
No
stays alive.
way. Is that true?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it's like,
Okay.
can't you just make the pelvic
God,
area a
men
little
love
cooler?
like grilling and like refrigeration stats. Like it's such a man thing to be like, we got to keep it outside because like you guys love like taking food and putting it in different places to make it
Yeah.
the best, or like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but okay.
No, we're all about
that's interesting.
refrigeration, plumbing. But
Yeah.
I've heard tale that when you get older, your balls can sag so low they hit the toilet water when you sit down.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, so luckily I'm not there yet. And I think
That
there's
poor
things you can
toilet
do.
water.
I know.
Touching that sack.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for the toilet water. I have a GoFundMe that's trying to change this, but mostly it just sucks because you have no control over it. You can't do Kegels for it or anything. It's just sagging, and I don't think
Isn't that nice though that you can't do anything? It's just the way it is.
it's freeing that. Yeah, your balls are gonna.
I
sag.
like that.
You're gonna get older, and your nose is gonna get bigger. Your ears are gonna get bigger. Your ball sack's gonna get bigger, and I think your dick stays the same, which makes it a disproportionate.
It's gotta droop a little bit when it's. Oh yeah, well it's gotta. Dada is painting. It's gotta droop a little bit based on just gravity. Like when it's soft, it's gotta like sag more.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some old
Which
man's
is a
balls.
school I'm trying to get my kid into. Sag more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've seen, it's hard to say because I've seen old man dicks before, like in the gym locker room or something, and I always think they're big. Whenever I see one, I think it's gigantic.
So
And
maybe that's the sag effect.
I've never looked over at someone at a urinal and be like, oh boy, tiny dick. That's tough for you. I've always
Do you
looked
look
at it
over?
every time I go and I peek over just to see what I'm working against. And
against
I've
it's always
never
a competition.
I've never seen one that I was like, oh, good. This is a really small dick you have. It's always been like, whoa, how the fuck were you from Europe? I always think they're from Eastern Europe or something. That's why their dicks are so big. I don't know why I think
Wonder
that.
what that is about.
Yeah, I don't know.
I forget what I was talking about. Oh yeah, John Hamm. So John Hamm is in the show. He's evil, and then Kaylee is in it. And I love Keely's teeth. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, Keely from Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
She's got like a lip that goes over her teeth, and her teeth are like kind of look like they're like you're doing this with your hands, like when you do like cat hands, and you're like her teeth all go together, but they're not like crooked. I love her mouth. I'm obsessed with it, and even no, her name is
it kind of looks
Juno
like
Temple.
Kind of looks like Kirsten's mouth.
Yeah, well.
Sort of.
Chris kept saying she looks like Kirsten, and I didn't see it. So maybe that's true. Like, there's just like, yeah, maybe it does have a little bit of, it's like a cat mouth. She kind of has a cat mouth where it's like, there's like the lips that go over, like she looks like she's in the movie Cats. You know, like how everyone in that movie had like but I love it. I'm like obsessed with how when she like smiles and it just like comes up, it's not like most people smile where it's like gets big. She just like lifts. Oh, it's so good looking at a picture of her. She looks like Jamie Lee.
Sure,
she's so cute. Doesn't she look like Jamie Lee?
Yeah, she does. And
Who
Jamie
wrote
Lee
for
wrote
Ted
for
Lasso?
Ted Lasso. Yeah, maybe
right
that's
for
why.
Ted Lasso. Yeah. Yeah. So she's in it, and she in one scene is sitting in her like TV room knitting. And it's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. She's like watching TV, and she's like watching this like Minnesota morning show, and she's kind of just like, oh, just like watching it and like kind of laughing along. And like you can tell she's a real simple lady. And then all of a sudden this guy with like a burlap sack mask over his face, real tall guy, walks up. So this is during the daytime, which makes it even creepier for some reason. Yeah. Walks up to her window. Like, you know, it's like a full length, almost door type window thing, like right next to the TV. And he's carrying a hammer, and he's just very calmly looking at her and just walks up and is just very slowly. I don't like that. I want it to be fast. If you're going to attack, do it fast. Yes. And so she is just like, she's sitting there and she's just like, and then he slowly starts pacing around to another window. And he's standing there. And that's when I close my eyes and I go, Chris, I cannot handle this. You're going to have to pretend like I'm blind. Like, you're going to have to describe it to me. Yes. Pretend I'm your blind. Like, Chris dated a girl who was blind in the past, who was going blind. And she was like going to be fully blind. And I think he kind of liked it because it's like he loves to help. Yeah, he's a helper. And so I was like, I don't think it bothered him at all. I think he loved it. Like, I don't think if I told him, you know, those girls give those scenarios like, what if I had no arms or legs? Would you still love me? And there's a part of me that thinks Chris would like me more. Like he would be more there for me. He loves to help, right?
Of course.
Relationship goals.
Someday, fingers crossed, I get attacked by a hammer. So I am burying my face into the couch, but not too much because my couch is white and I always have bronzer on my face. So I like put a blanket, then my face. My fucking couch, I can't even sit on with my pure body because I always have tan that's gonna come off on it. So I've never been able to like sit upon my couch. So I'm hiding my eyes and I'm like, Chris, you got to describe the scene to me. And he's not very good. Like he'd be a great blind boyfriend and like boyfriend to the blind. And in terms of like helping, getting my cane, like getting things for me, making sure but if he's got to step it up if I'm going to go blind with show description. Cause he's like, because then I will see the scene change because I'll see like a flicker of light and I'm like, okay, now what? And he's like, oh, now the guy with the hammer is like inside the house. I'm like, how did he get in? Like, he's not telling me so then I like went over to him and I'm like, you got to tell me like I'm your blind ex-girlfriend, pretend I'm her. And I know her name. And so I was like, you got to, and so now I'm like, pretend I'm her. And he's like, your tits need to be bigger. And so then I started inflating my tits and he was like, bigger. And then I got almost offended. I was like, wait, did your blind girlfriend have huge boobs? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, well, I'm going over to the other side of the couch because I have small boobs. I'm not even blind, and I got like hurt for some reason.
Meanwhile, in the background, John Hamm is hammering this woman to death.
Yes. But she does. Yeah, she's a big part of the show. So I knew she wasn't going to get hammered to death.
Okay.
He didn't hammer. But it's so scary. Do you agree? So scary to see someone slow when they are ready to murder.
Oh,
also, worst death imaginable, hammer.
Oh God! Hey, did you see the new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson? It's like a
of
noir.
course not.
Okay. Well, there's a little bit of that slow hammer action in that movie.
No, there's slow hammer.
Slow hammer. I mean, this is really, truly creepy. Slow hammer action. The villain is played by the guy, the guy who played the young priest in There Will Be Blood. Did you see There Will Be Blood with?
No,
Daniel
because
Day-Lewis,
it's
the
also
greatest actor of
slow
all time?
hammer action. No, that's the other one. There will be the blood, and then there's like the one with the cattle
Oh
gun.
yeah, that's God, what the hell was that?
They came
movie
out
called?
at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, No Country.
Oh, No Country for Old Men. Those two movies came out at the same time, and it's like, what is going on in the world?
That movie's all slow hammer.
This year is crazy. That both had very
okay. There
slow,
Will Be
calm
Blood
deaths.
is okay. They do okay.
Yeah. No Country for Old Men has one of like the most horrifying deaths of all time, which is when he's impersonating the police officer. He pulls over the person, and then he has the thing that shoots air into cattle's heads to kill them. And he just says, it's almost like the guy is going under a sobriety test, and he says, stand still. And the worst part is he's just complicit and docile, and he stands there and he's like, yes, sir. And poof, just like that, gone. He drops down,
God.
takes the car, drives off. There's a lot of deaths
Calmness.
like that. Yes.
I don't like calm psychopath. That's when we started calling this guy a psychopath. Like, we don't even know his name, but I just keep going as this, because that if he were like frantic, we would just be calling him like the killer. But instead, we're calling him psychopath because, it was interesting to me because I'm like, why is Chris all of a sudden saying, okay, now the psychopath is? I'm like, he made up that term because this guy is too calm.
Yeah.
But also, I watched an interview with a psychopath the other day that was really interesting.
Like a real one?
Yeah, it was Piers Morgan being interviewed. And
Nice.
Piers Morgan, who I don't particularly like, but he was interviewing this child psychopath who killed his sister when he was 12 and she was like 6. And they had all this footage of them being like sweet brother and sister. And then he murdered his sister. It's Americans. He murdered his sister because he hated his mom. And he was gonna murder his mom, but he decided the thing that it would hurt his mom more is to murder his sister, because it would not only take away his sister, but it would also take away him for prison for life. And he wanted to hurt his mom as deeply as possible.
Jeez.
And so that was his reasoning, because he was planning on murdering his mom. But there's all this footage of them as kids and him being so sweet to his sister, looking after her. Like, you would think they were like the best. He was the best little brother in the world. So it's truly. And then Piers Morgan interviews him, and this guy's face just looks so, like, you've seen memes of this guy's face. It's fucking scary as fuck.
Yeah.
But I was so scared. I think that's why I had the Marilyn Manson dream last night, because of Hammer Time, of just like scary looking calm murderers. And yeah. And so Fargo was terrifying. Chris described it all to me. It
sounded terrifying, at least.
Oh my God. But it's really good. I'm actually looking forward to watching more of it, because we watched 3 episodes and I was like, kind of had to twist my arm to watch it at first. I really wanted to watch another doc apparently there's this doc called like The Truth of Love, or Love is the Way, or Love is the, I forget what it is, but all of my friends on Girls Chat are freaking out about it, saying it's the most fucked up doc yet. So if you know what I'm talking, Robin Williams is involved somehow. I don't even know.
What?
I know. Why are you pulling him into this?
Yeah.
But like, I guess they are making him some sort of prophet or something. I don't even understand. But we're going to go to break and come back with more after this. This morning, I woke up to my favorite. It's my favorite time of year. It might be my favorite day of the year, I think.
Oh.
Besides maybe like the day before Christmas. I really like the day before Christmas because it's like, gooning for Christmas. But this
Like
day's
Christmas
pretty
Eve?
good. Yeah, I guess they call it that.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
the gooning day.
Yeah, gooning
Goon day.
Day.
Yeah. let it goon, let it goon, let it goon. Okay, so today is Spotify Wrapped.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Did we get it? Do you have yours?
Yeah, I got it. Did you get yours? Do you listen to Spotify?
Of course I do.
Okay,
I'm not a
all
fucking
my friends
Apple
don't.
Music. I mean,
Chris
I love
doesn't.
Apple. Blah blah
Kirsten
blah.
doesn't. And Anya barely does it, and I think she rolls her eyes at it because I think she is just like, you know, she's upset with Spotify because she gets those checks for like
Spotify
17
Wrapped
cents.
makes people who have Pandora feel so bad. It's like having an Apple phone versus having an
Droid.
Android. Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry.
Totally.
This is better.
It's so I switched from I was an Rdio baby back in the day.
God.
That's not even yeah, it's gone now. But I used to use a different service until then Spotify Wrapped came out maybe the first or second time, and I was like, I can't miss this again. This is exciting.
Yeah.
I like finding out things about myself. This is like taking an Enneagram and like and if you're someone who likes music, it's just so fun to see your data.
Yeah.
And I know it's like they sell it all and they use it all against you, but it's so I love Spotify Wrapped, and I hate everyone being snarky about it. I like people Spotify Wrapped.
Who's snarky about Spotify
People
Wrapped?
are so snarky
What?
about Spotify Wrapped. They
Because it's
hate
corporate?
it. Because everyone is bragging about how cool their music tastes are or whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone who has lame music tastes or doesn't use Spotify Wrapped or like uses Apple Music are so jealous.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they
that's
don't
their
like
fault.
it. But it's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. And you are just open your mind to it. Like be interested in other people. Find it. It tells you so much about someone. So wait, let's hear your Spotify Wrapped. This is exciting because you're looking at it for the first time.
This is me. I'm opening Spotify for the first time.
Well, it has to take you through that whole fucking story. I don't like how long the stories
The
take.
story's
It's like,
pretty long.
this year you visited 7 countries with your music, and then it's and then these countries come up slowly, and you're like, I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck
No,
where
this
my
is-
music was. Yeah, look at this bullshit.
Hello,
you. Wow, you. Hey, Brian. I can't read what that says, Brian. You got to tell us.
It's rap time. 2023 was a feast for your ears. You listened to
Yes.
57 genres.
What? I only listened to 7. 57.
I don't know. Now it's showing me a sandwich. Oh, it's putting it together.
Oh, I know the sandwich graphic goes on for a bit. The most you listened to was okay. Now it's showing you.
Okay, rap was number 1, which is surprising. I guess I didn't really listen to a lot of rap at the end of the year because whenever I work out, I listen to like hardcore rap to really pump me up. It's usually like stuff from like the Creed soundtrack or something.
Okay.
People
Wait,
there,
the Creed. Oh, it's not. You don't listen to Creed. You listen to the
like
Creed,
the Creed
soundtrack.
with Michael B.
Got it.
Jordan. You played 2,000 songs. One really connected. It was the main theme from The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh,
Because
why?
I listen to that when I'm writing.
Wait, what?
It's like classical, intense music. I just listen to it. What I do is I listen to it over and over again on repeat. Yeah.
Okay.
So the main theme from The Dark Knight Rises is my number 1 song, and then number 2 is You Make Me Feel Like Dancing.
Stop.
You
Wait,
make
what's
me
that one?
feel like dancing. I want to dance.
Want to dance the night away.
That's the
No.
second most listened.
That's not a good song.
When do you listen to that? What are you doing?
I think I used to listen to that every morning, and when I'd get up to make myself feel better about my life.
That's so cute.
And then Get Out of My Way, which is a rap song that is really good for working out too. And then a Game of Thrones soundtrack, because I would listen to that when I was writing, and then a song from Creed. These are weird. I mean, this is like a weird.
Mine tells me. So I thought it was going to tell me where where my music is from, because it was like you're listening all over the world. It's where you what city in the world you listened most like.
Oh wow!
Mine, I feel pretty cool. Mine's Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Oh wow, very smart.
Harvard, baby.
Wow, I was just in Cambridge.
Yeah.
Very smart. Mine is St. Louis Obispo, which is where Apple is.
No,
Isn't that where
really?
Anya lives?
Yeah, that's where she's from. I think that's where she's. No.
She's
St.
from
Louis
Cupertino.
Obispo. That's Cupertino. St. Louis Obispo is where Cal Poly is.
Oh yeah, so I'm a big Cal Poly guy.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought.
People there are far more likely to be fans of Duckworth, ASAP Ferg, and Dreamville. Just like,
Oh my
is
god!
this me? Really?
My number 1 song was released July 7th. So I've only had since July 7th to listen to it. And I listened to it. Did it tell you how many times you listened to that one song?
Not yet. I have more things to go through. What I really want to know for you.
It should be the fourth slide.
Oh, the fourth slide?
Yeah, it'll tell you how many.
Okay. You had room in your heart for more than one favorite, it says.
Oh.
It doesn't tell me that I listened to one song.
He's Polly.
Sorry, then the slide before that.
You played 2,479 songs in 2023, and there was really only one that connected. Hans Zimmer.
Okay, this is your most played song.
The theme from The Dark Knight Rises.
Wow.
Okay, how many times?
You played it 117 times this year, so not that many.
That's pretty many.
Yeah.
Mine was you played 1,486 songs, which is way less than you.
Yeah. I have a lot more genres.
And there's one that really connected, and it was Taylor Swift's
Of course.
I Can See You from the Vault, from Speak Now Vault. And I played it 112 times, which seems low to me, but since July 7th. But
yeah, only half
that
the
was my
year.
favorite song to listen to on a treadmill, and also in the shower for like pretty much all of August and September. I was listening to that song when I showered. I shower so fast I would barely get through the song, but I would pretend that, because it's a song about like when you like you are like having a crush on someone and you can't be together, and like everyone knows, but like no one knows, no one can know. It's like my favorite kind of like fantasy is when two people like each other and they can't tell anyone, and it's super hot, and it's So
Do
it's
you read romance novels?
No.
I feel like you'd get real horned up for a romance novel.
Yeah, maybe
probably
instead
would.
of watching all those crime docs.
Yeah.
I
You're
know.
just
I
watching
like
people get hit with hammers while your boyfriend tells you your tits need to be bigger. You should be reading romance novels.
romance novels. No, by the way, Chris did confirm that I have the best tits that he could imagine, and so
Bigger's
that was
not always
nice. And I
better.
want to. Exactly. Big does not equal good
Mm-hmm.
all the time. But yeah, I think romance novels for me are too saccharine and too like they don't cause. I've never been horny from. I've read books where there's been like love interests, like will they, won't they, and it doesn't do for me what certain scenes in movies. I'm a pretty
Bridgerton?
visual
Did
person.
you watch like the first season of Bridgerton?
Yeah, that was kind of hot, but it wasn't super hot. Like, I made Chris watch this movie the other day, my favorite movie ever, The Worst Person in the World. It's a Norwegian film, and there is a scene, this girl like cheats on her boyfriend. It's not the best movie to watch with your boyfriend and be like, I love this movie, and the girl's like just cheating on him wildly. But
Wildly.
yeah, like she just makes a decision and then goes for it. But it is so hot to me when two people really want to, but they can't, and they won't, and they'll do
Yeah, I
everything
love
except
that.
it. Like, I love it so much. Like, if I were to role play with Chris, it would be like us. We're in relationships with other people, and we're like cheating with each other. Like which is unfortunate, because it's like the thing that turns me on is like doing like betraying someone I love. It's like inherently in the fantasy.
Yeah.
But I just like it. And
You
I
gotta
can
have
see
that
you.
mental aspect.
Yeah. I
It's
gotta
not
have
just all about the visual or about what's happening. It's got to be the mental aspect that leads up to it.
Well, it's got to be that we can't ever be together, because I'm scared of intimacy. So I don't really want us to ever be together. So my dream is to never have a chance to actually be with you. I don't know why I don't have more crushes on people in prison,
Yeah.
because that's the ultimate. I can't be
Well,
with them.
have you ever
Or,
read?
like,
There's
dead
a really
men.
horned up book called Romeo and Juliet. where
That
they
one.
can't
Oh,
be
man.
together at all.
I think that's what fucking did it to me.
Oh,
is
yeah?
that movie in 8th grade?
It's got everything
like-
you love. It's got It's got love you can't have. It's got suicide. It's got teen suicide.
It's got a fish tank. It's got kissing in a pool. It's got
Murder.
suicide.
Yeah.
I love it. I loved everything about that movie. It's that what I think that really did affect my brain to
Right.
today, to
I was
what it
talking
is
about
today.
the play.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but there's this movie that I really liked. Baz Luhrmann
Did you watch
wrote this movie.
the Ben Affleck, Anna de Armas movie Deepwater that came out
Yeah,
last year?
yes, I did.
Did that horn
That
you up?
was no, because he knew she was cheating on him, and so
Yeah.
it's not fun. Like he knew he was being cucked, and that's no fun. Like I need them to be like getting away with it.
Yeah. Well,
And
them
I've
together.
never cheated on anyone, by the way. So this isn't. I've been a part of being. I've been with men who are cheating on their girlfriend, and that has turned me on in the past. I hate to say it, but I've never. I don't know what. I don't like the idea of. I guess I just like when two people like. They wish they could be together, and like if circumstances were different, we would, but we can't. Like that is so hot to me. Like if this dumb woman didn't exist, like it would be us, because that is so many times. Like think of how many shows you root for a person who's cheating on his girlfriend to be with the girl. But
Sure.
then in real life, we go, how dare she? That's he's such a fucking scum. But in Friends, I've made this point before, but it's so funny how we pick and choose, like, a man who cheats is a fucking dog. And then we go like, God, Ross, leave Julie.
Yeah.
Go for Rachel.
Yeah.
Every single plot to
that's so
every Ross, leave Emma. Go for Rachel.
Yeah,
Like,
Pam, go for Jim.
Pam, go for Jim.
Yeah.
Meg Ryan, leave Greg Kinnear. Meg Ryan, leave Bill Pullman. Go for Tom Hanks. Like every single time we're rooting for people to cheat.
Well, we just want
except
Meg
when
Ryan to break up with people. That's really
maybe that is what we really
it's
like.
just great to see her breaking up with someone.
Yeah. Okay. What I had room in my heart for one more favorite. You
Okay.
romantic you. Oh God, I hate when they like an ed bot talks to you like it's your friend.
Yeah, no,
No,
get the
thank
fuck
you,
outta here.
Spotify.
Not
Just
my
tell me
friend.
what I need to know.
Yeah.
My top songs were I
Taylor
Can See
Swift.
You by Taylor Swift. Number 2, which I predicted on my Instagram story. I thought this was going to win my Spotify Wrapped because I was so obsessed with it. Not Strong Enough by Boy Genius. One of the best songs
Oh.
ever. Number 3, You're On Your Own Kid, which came out last year. I don't know that if it made Spotify Wrapped last year because it came out in late October last year, so it probably didn't make it. Lavender Haze, Taylor Swift. And then number 5, the National New Order t-shirt, which is one of my favorite songs of all time too. And I really got into that probably 2 months ago. I was like listening to it on repeat for
So you
like,
got 2
a
Swift
week.
songs and then 3 others.
3 Swift, 2 others.
Well, what I'm really interested in, this is probably your point of pride, is what percentage of Swifties you're in. Did it do that this year?
Oh yeah, it did.
Okay. Well, that's the headliner of this little segment. Is what
Well,
percentage?
I'm
you in?
happy to tell you that I am in the 1%.
Oh my!
Seriously?
Yes, I made it to the 1%. My peak listening month for Taylor was October.
Yep.
I did. I'm very excited to tell everyone I did make it in the top 1%. And then Taylor Swift also like made a special message for all the people who listened the most.
Really?
And so
On
I got that
Spotify?
little. Yeah.
Oh my!
She's
God.
like backstage in her lover outfit from tour. And she did
Man.
a special note. But yeah, I got 1%, which I'm very
Amazing.
happy about.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Although there are people that are going to get, I mean, I've been in the Taylor Swift subreddit and it's like girls are in the 0.1%, 0.02%. I mean,
Yeah.
it will give you like all the way up to that. So it's pretty good because Taylor Swift is the most popular artist on the planet next to Bad Bunny, which I couldn't name one song, but I honestly, Bad Bunny. I mean, I know it's not in our language,
I've heard
so
of
that
Bad
probably.
Bunny.
But I couldn't even recognize the sound of Bad Bunny, and that's on me.
Is it
I
rap?
should have
What
watched
is
his
it?
SNL. That is a great question, and I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know the answer to it.
Wow.
And yeah, it feels good to be in the 1%. It's an exciting day. I really thought I wasn't going to win because she's gotten so popular over the past year. I thought there's no way I'm going to make it in the 1%. I don't listen all the time. There are Swifties that leave their phones on constantly because of this moment. They want Spotify Wrapped 0.01%, and
Right,
so
right.
they're going to get it. I wasn't trying, and I got in the 1%. So I'm pretty proud of that.
I wonder if I'm in the 1% of Hans Zimmer listeners.
Probably
Give
the
you
only
that?
percent.
Yeah.
Imagine if I'm in
You're
like
100% of Hans Zimmer listeners.
you were the only one that listened to Hans Zimmer.
I speaking of like listening to something when you're working, I like when I'm writing, I feel like the best music is something you don't know the words to fully.
Or there can't be any words.
Yeah, instrumental, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's true. I for some reason have liked stuff that I don't really know the full words to, but I'm like wanting to learn the words to, but I'm not focused on it too much. And so the other day I got obsessed with this song that I've only heard on TikToks really.
Okay.
Up until like, I guess it was 2 weeks ago. Where was I? I was in Portland, which I called Seattle from stage, by the way. It was so embarrassing.
Aw.
I was in Portland and on stage, I called them Seattle.
Oh,
But then I go,
no.
what's the fucking difference? And they laughed. Because I go, it's raining outside. It's cold. It feels amphibious outside. You guys are all wearing marmot jackets.
Haha.
Come on, and I go, I said Seattle because I'm taping a special there. I'm sorry. I felt so bad because I would be so pissed if someone came to St. Louis and was like, Kansas City, and I made a joke of what's the difference. Like, obviously I was trying to be funny, but I felt I couldn't get it out of my head. Like the rest of my set, I was just like so embarrassed, so sad, wanting to make it up to them. I felt like I owed them refunds for their tickets. Like it was like this weird shame spiral I went into. But I was in Portland and I was writing all day, working on my special before my show at a Starbucks. And in my headphones, I was playing this song I'd only heard on TikToks or like on Reels or repost because I don't go on TikTok. And I always have to just say that because people are going to be like, she's lying. She is on TikTok. But I really, and I am kind of proud of myself for it because it's like trying not to vape when you have a vape on your phone. And I think TikTok is true. Like it's the number one app that everyone spends the most time on, I think now.
TikTok?
TikTok is I think the one that's the biggest time suck. I saw some graph recently and I think it's the number one that everyone's losing their life
Killing
to.
teenagers.
Right.
I think it does have the most views. I mean, but it definitely has it's the most views, but it's not the most substantial viewership. Like it doesn't really mean as much what people do on TikTok as it does on
That's
Instagram.
what I'm saying. It's hell what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're not even getting anything out of it. I mean, maybe some people are, but
brain damage.
But there's this one song. Wait, are you on TikTok, Noah? Do you ever go on?
No.
Really?
I'm like you. I want to abstain from it. I wish I didn't go on any social media like Instagram.
Yeah,
that's
but
it.
Instagram, you do.
I do.
And then how often do you do that?
Probably like through the day, especially when I'm bored or like waiting for audio to render. I just scroll through.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you don't do it YouTube ever?
Not unless I'm looking for like a podcast or like a particular thing.
I used to not be a YouTuber either. Like, I'm like, why do people just go on YouTube and just like let videos roll into each other? Or, like, what do you do on? Like, I only go to YouTube to like look up a certain video. But now that I'm subscribed to certain things and it knows what I like I can go on the home thing and it's serving me up stuff I like.
YouTube has the best algorithm. It knows what you want to watch before you even realize you want to watch it.
Truly.
And what's great about YouTube is that it's longer form content. So like if you're on Instagram or TikTok, you have to constantly be interacting with your phone. Whereas like if you're cooking or something and you just want some quote unquote content to be playing, you can just hit play on a 20-minute YouTube video and it's just someone talking or whatever. Sometimes it's the Nikki Glaser Podcast on YouTube, but other times it's just like whatever. It's just can be anything and it's just background noise most of the time that you don't have to keep interacting with, which is why TikTok is flawed because you have to like constantly touch TikTok in order for it to keep serving you content, or else it'll just show you the same 30 seconds on repeat over and over again.
Can I ask a question? And someone's got to help. You guys don't do TikTok, so I don't think you'll know the answer to this.
I do TikTok.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Why on TikToks, when a girl is like telling a story or whatever, do they constantly like have to touch it? Like after they go like, okay, I'm telling a story and they're like, and then he went there and then they touch again. And then it like goes to the next, like why can't they just tell the whole story and then edit it later? Why do they keep touching it?
I mean, it might be the in-app editing software that they're using, that they're touching it to stop and start.
Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Like, I hope someone listening knows what I'm
Yes.
talking about. She'll be like, so I went to the store today. And I usually take Gracie to the market around 11 a.m. Click. So then we go it's like, just tell the story and stop. And then why do we have to watch your arm go in for the click every time?
It's almost like
cut around that. That's why I'm annoyed. If it's an editing thing, cut around your arm clicking on it.
Does it jump cut? Is it like an intentional jump cut?
It's a jump cut to the next thing, but they don't take out their arm touching the thing. Like that's a part of it. So we got to watch your arm go in to press on the phone each time. It's so annoying. I don't get it.
We sound like such boomers, right? And we're like, we don't know who Bad Bunny is, and why is it on TikTok? So they touch it all the time.
We are.
I will say Bad Bunny is probably a prolific and amazing musician, and he's like the Pele of music, and I just have never heard, I don't know, like he's messy, like he's bigger than anyone I could ever imagine, but I'm somehow out of it. I am a loser for that. But this TikTok thing, I am not an old person. It's just a waste of everyone's time to see your arm stretch forward to touch the thing.
Well,
I don't get it.
That's why they get passed by. Lionel Messi, by the way, #1 amount of followers on Instagram. He has the most out of anybody.
It doesn't surprise me anymore.
Yeah.
It used to, because I was just like, who is this and why do
soccer?
But now I get it. Soccer is Did you know who Lionel Messi was? Noah, you look confused.
I thought he was like a tennis player, but soccer makes sense.
He does sound like a tennis player.
Yeah.
Can I return to the Spotify Wrapped real quick?
Yeah, what do you got?
So my top artists are the guy who made the Game of Thrones soundtrack, and then Hans Zimmer, and then Billy Joel, and then Louis Prima, and then Lindsay Sterling is #5. I don't know who that is.
I do.
Who is that?
She's a violinist. I was
She
on a
must have
show with her
been
once.
on the Hans Zimmer song or something that I listened to.
You have someone you don't even know.
I don't even know. And then it says, hold up, there's someone on the other line. And it's like, ooh, who's it going to be? And then it's a video from Lindsay Sterling.
And she's thanking you for listening to her stuff.
I don't even know who this is.
You don't even know.
But she's got a cute chihuahua. That's something.
It kind of looks like your dog, Jack.
Yeah, it does look a lot like Jack.
That's so funny that you don't even know.
I guess I like Lindsay Sterling, but I don't even know who that is.
Well, if she likes you.
My Spotify Wrapped is not
that only sent to like 4 people. You're one of them.
I mean, I'm surprised they were able to get Lindsay Sterling to do a video.
Can I just say about the YouTube algorithm? I get sent, I will see myself pop up on there all the time. I don't watch anything of myself, but the other day, it's so embarrassing because my own podcast has 4,000 views at most, but then there will be a clip that's like Theo Vaughn talks to these women. It's like the other day it was a clip that just said Theo Vaughn talking to women, and my face was on the cover of it.
Yeah.
And it had 600,000 views. It was posted an hour ago. It was like, what the fuck? It is just so out of control how much I don't understand what's going on over there.
Yeah, I mean the numbers on YouTube are shocking. It doesn't make any sense, and then
it hurts my feelings.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that it's that low because we know for a fact that there's more than 3,000 people. There's substantially more than 3,000 people that listen to this podcast, and yet on YouTube the numbers are so incredibly backwards. It doesn't make any sense. There are shows.
I want to give it a view, but I don't want to see a comment, so I can't give it a view.
Because the YouTube comments are the only ones I actually read. The YouTube comments are actually pretty cordial and friendly. But
that's good. Let's keep it that way, please.
Yes,
maybe that's why we don't want our numbers going up. That's when they start getting mean.
But it is shocking that so for Theo Vaughn, it's the subscriber base. He already has, however many millions of YouTube subscribers, and we just don't have that subscriber base yet. And I don't know why Nikki Glaser besties don't use YouTube as much as they will listen to a podcast, but it's just a fact.
Yeah, throw us a sub on YouTube. It would mean a lot, even if you don't use your YouTube account a lot. Just go give us a sub. Why the fuck not?
Yeah,
it would be awesome. And then thumbs up our videos when you do go on there and see it. Just throw us a thumbs up.
It hurts you not at all to subscribe to someone on YouTube, especially if you don't use it, because it's not like Instagram.
It could hurt them. What
How's
if their
that?
phone's cracked and their thumb hits the crack and
then
it slices it as they're
slices their thumb?
subscribing? Yeah.
Okay, so you don't
could
have
hurt.
to do if your phone's cracked. You don't have to do this.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you have a good phone,
Yeah.
it hurts you not at all because when you subscribe to something on YouTube, it's not like Instagram where it shows how many people you're following, and it's like, oh, it's so embarrassing. I don't have as many followers as I am following.
Right.
You could
Yes.
subscribe to 1 million YouTube channels and no one will know.
Oh, that's a good point.
So just
And not
hit
that
that
anyone would want to
subscribe button.
hide that they're subscribing to us. What a shameful thing. Yeah, that'd be amazing if you go do that right now. And then we'll see you back here after the break. Okay, we're back. Going to Canada tomorrow? Yeah,
Wow.
going to Canada tomorrow. I always get nervous to go to Canada because you have to go through
Customs.
and they get mad at me.
Why?
But I feel okay about it this time. I don't know. And I got to remember my passport, even though I've never forgotten it. But it's just like, that's weighing on me. And just, I don't know. I got a lot of anxieties about going up there and how they're going to, just going through. I just don't like customs. I really think that I would, if it were up to me, I'd never leave America again because I'm so scared of customs. And it gives me so much. It's like Taylor with the sucker thing at the dentist. It doesn't make sense, but customs take too much time. The line is always too long. It's too windy. Then you have to go in, you have to get your bags. Then you have to show like a little piece of paper to the guy as you leave with your bags. And that guy you always feel like is going to detain you.
I know,
Like,
they're always
there's
mean.
too many chances for detainment. Yes, and they're always mean and I don't like it.
And then they
But I
interview
am
you.
excited to go to Toronto.
Especially when you're
because-
returning.
Mm,
Well,
yeah.
when I was back from Australia, but when I was leaving Australia, they interviewed me and they're like, "Do you have any fruit?" I can't do an Australian accent, but they ask you all these questions like, "Do you have any fruit? Did you bring a
and you
boomerang?"
said,
I said, "All I have is a boomerang. I bought a boomerang from an indigenous man," and they're like, "Well, that's going to be fine." But I did.
I
Get
thought you were going to be, that's going to be fined. I thought
Yeah.
you were going to get fined.
but I did get detained at the border when I went to Montreal. I was because I have a criminal record for when I was in
From?
college and I got caught underage drinking. And
oh,
so,
God.
yeah, I was,
Did they like bust up a party and like write you all tickets?
yeah, well, it's embarrassing because I had my brother's expired learner's permit that, and I gave it to a cop and he said, well, now you're going to jail because you tried this bullshit. And
Oh,
so yeah, he took me,
no.
I actually have a bit about it that I tell, but he took me to jail. I was dressed like the Fonz from Happy Days because I was at a Halloween party.
God damn
And
it.
yeah, but years later, I'm going to Canada and they detained me at the border. I almost said border like a Canadian.
You took a picture like a mugshot as the Fonz?
No mugshot. I went into the drunk tank, so they didn't take a mugshot.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Drug tank
That'd be so good.
overnight. Dressed as the
Overnight?
Fonz. Yeah.
Fuck.
But I was detained at the border, and the Canadians were like, they kept me there for like an hour in the border crossing, and they looked up my criminal record, and they said, "What were you arrested for?" And I was like, "Underage drinking." And then they were like, "How old were you?" And I was like, "I was 20 when they arrested me."
And they drink at 18 there.
And they're like, "Oh, it's 18 here, so who cares?"
Get on in.
Yeah. Then they let me in.
Have a Labatt Blue.
Yeah. But I was
That's
afraid
awesome.
I was sitting there for an hour while
yeah.
they were like investigating me. And I was like, really?
Yeah, I got things expunged from my record, and every time I go through, I go, "Was it expunged?"
Well, so
I feel
mine was
like
supposed to be expunged. I went to
that's
all
why
these
I
classes.
think that they don't expunge
It's
everything.
not really expunged. If you're a different government, then you can find out if like, oh, the American
Yeah.
government expunged it, but it's not like other foreign governments aren't going to be able to do their research. They don't have anything to do with us.
Right.
Like if
there's like
Russia
been-
wanted to find out if I got a ticket, they're going to find out.
I don't think you can go to Canada if you have a DUI. Like if you've had a DUI in
Really?
America. That's a
How do
reason
they
to get
even
one.
have access to that?
I'm just kidding.
How
I
do they
love
have-
Canada.
They know.
I don't know. The database, man. It's all in the cloud.
Because it's on your Instagram, maybe. Don't post
A
your
DUI?
mugshots on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
people.
But no, I think that's all they have access to that stuff.
So it's like
Yeah.
a global database, I
Yeah, we're all
guess.
sharing
Maybe.
information, and they have their ways.
Yeah, it's but I'm excited to go there because the girl that is opening for me, Noor Hadidi, she is like she's a Swiftie, and so we're gonna Swift the fuck out.
Oh,
and
cool.
Go pretty crazy because we get into some pretty intense stuff, and I'm very excited because Taylor finally put on Spotify this new song that was only on this like special Target edition of her album. It's called You're Losing Me, and she wrote it about her boyfriend who like it's an extra Midnight song. And Midnights is a breakup album, even though there's lots of songs about Joe being like, oh, I love him so much. But like we all know now is a breakup album because now they're broken up. And like obviously when she was writing that album, it was the beginning of the end because no one breaks up immediately when they're ready to break up. It's like takes a while, especially when you're in a 7-year relationship. So the song You're Losing Me is so good. And it's all about like she's like, how did you not see the signs coming? How is this surprising to you? You like you were like, wait, let me look at the lyrics because they're so good. But I'm so glad it's finally released because I was only able to listen to it on like weird TikToks before.
Yeah, it's like a Target specific album, like when Starbucks has an album.
Kind of. No. Well, there's like special releases she only does through Target that have like certain vault tracks. So the lyrics are, you say I don't understand, and I say I know you don't, which is like, that's like such I love that line because it's like, how many breakups when someone's like, I don't understand, and the person's just like, can you imagine the person saying back to you, I know you don't. Like, there's no like, sorry, there's no me being like, well, it's because of this. It's just like saying like, I know you don't. Like, you don't need to. We're done. She said, we thought a cure would come through in time. Now I fear it won't. Remember looking at this room? We loved it because of the light. Now I just sit in the dark and wonder if it's time. Do I throw out everything we built or keep it? I'm getting tired even for a phoenix, always rising from the ashes, mending all her gashes. You might just have dealt the final blow. And then she says, stop, you're losing me. Because she's kind of like, you could tell she's in an argument. She's like, stop, you're losing me. Like, and I also like you're losing me because it's something you say to someone over the phone where you're like, you're losing me. I can't hear you. But it's like, she's like, and then she says, I can't find a pulse. My heart won't start anymore for you because you're losing me. Every morning I glared at you with storms in my eyes. And this is the line I like. How can you say that you love someone you can't tell is dying? She's like, this relationship I've been dying in and you don't even notice. How can you say you love someone that you can't tell is dying? I sent you signals and bit my nails down to the quick. I don't know what the quick means, but I'm guessing like the blood. Like I bit my nails. Like I sent you signals. I'm like constantly being nervous. I seem very upset. My face was gray, but you wouldn't admit that we were sick. And the air is thick with loss and indecision. I know my pain is such an imposition. Now you're running down the hallway and you know what they all say. You don't know what you got until it's gone. And then, yeah.
Wow, it's like so Shakespearean, speaking of.
Yeah. The bridge is, how long could we be a sad song till we're too far gone to bring back to life? I gave you all my best me's, my endless empathy, and all I did was bleed as I tried to be the bravest soldier, fighting in only your army. Front lines, don't you ignore me. I'm the best thing at this party. So he's obviously they're at a party and she's like, I'm right here. You're talking to everyone else. I'm the best thing at this party. You're losing me. And then this is the best. And I wouldn't marry me either. A pathological people pleaser who only wanted you to see her. And I'm fading thinking, do something, babe, say something. And this is the part where she's like, he had a chance. She's like, do something, babe, say something. Lose something, babe, risk something. Like, lose, like, take a fucking risk. Don't look cool. Try to fight for me. Choose something, babe. I've got nothing to believe unless you're choosing me. So he never chose her. And so she's like, peace out. What up, Trav? And now she's with Travis Kelce. And the song rules. So, yeah, check out You're Losing Me. It's the new song on for Taylor Swift's, it's on her Spotify. It's on Spotify now. Too late to get it on Wrapped, though. And then the other song I'm obsessed with real quick is that I was going to say is the only one I've been hearing on TikTok is, you probably heard it. I would want myself, baby, please believe me. I'll put you through hell. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's in so many TikToks. You would know it if I was playing it. But it's called Greedy by Tate McRae, and she was on SNL last week. And it's so weird because I listen to the song every single, like I listen to it probably, it's going to be my Spotify Wrapped next year. I listen to it like 100 times one day. And it's only 2 minutes long, so it's really short. And then all of a sudden that night when I was in Portland, she was on SNL that night. I was like, this is so weird. It's all lining up. She's an amazing dancer. She's so
It's not a
hot.
coincidence.
Yeah, so
What do you mean?
one of the main purposes of TikTok is to get musicians exposure. If a TikTok sound goes viral and it's in all sorts of people's TikToks, and
I know, but I was hearing it on TikTok for months before I go, I gotta put this in and like see what the fuck this song is.
Yeah, well,
it was months.
programmed
It was
you.
weird that it all lined
you
up
were
perfectly.
programmed, and then
You're programmed.
I guess that
I feel
happened
cool.
that
I feel
month.
part of the zeitgeist.
You're part of the zeitgeist, but it's all
I'm
corporate
tapped in.
meddling.
Still don't know who Bad Bunny is.
They probably made that song specifically, had a hook in it that would be good for TikTok.
But you gotta watch Tate McRae's video for Greedy. It's so fucking hot. It has been so long. I played Chris a video and we were like, we both agreed it's been so long since we had like a hot pop star, like a Britney Spears, I was gonna
What's her
say
name?
J-Lo, like Tate McRae, MCRAE, McRae.
Right.
Yeah.
Canadian.
And it's called Greedy. She's Canadian. It's all at a hockey rink.
Mm-hmm.
And the way she moves her body, she's an amazing dancer. I think she started out as a dancer. She's been dancing her whole life. She's only, I think, 20 years old, maybe 19.
20.
But she is so confident. She is so cool. I love her dance moves. She is so sexy. It would have been inappropriate for me to say that she's so sexy 3 years ago, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can say it. And
Right.
just the way her like body bends and like the way she dances and her face, like she just is cool. Like it doesn't look like she's trying too hard, even though there's so many scenes where her body is contorted in all these ways that you're like, whoa. Chris even goes, she's shaking in that contortion right there. She's obviously trying hard. I'm like, no, she's so cool.
No, she's
but I'm like obsessed.
I mean, it looks like she's a former ballet dancer.
She's legit, dog. She's and this song "Greedy" is so good, and I guess she has some other ones that are even bigger. But it's my new favorite song. Okay, we gotta go. Thank you for listening to the show. I'll see you this week in Toronto, in Pittsburgh, Detroit. I'll see you next week in Brea, California. I'll be there with Brian at the Brea Improv, and then in Spokane, Washington on the 14th, and then for my special taping December 16th in Seattle. And then if you're in the Denver area, I'm going to be New Year's Eve and New Year's Eve at the Paramount in Denver. Get your tickets now on nikkiglaser.com. Also, just released tickets for tomorrow. They go on sale. They're on pre-sale now. Use code GOOD. But for St. Louis, Kansas City, and Atlanta for 2024 dates, you can check those at nikkiglaser.com. Use code GOOD right now. Tomorrow they go on sale for
Friday?
everyone, but pre-sale. Yeah, tomorrow, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But today they are on a pre-sale. Use code GOOD for Atlanta, St. Louis, and Kansas City, which I'm so excited about. All right.
The sun has stopped shining in through the window, so maybe could we
start over?
Yeah.
Go look at our YouTube video of this one to
Perfect.
see.
This lighting is
Super.
perfect right now.
Brian looks
No,
like an
it
angel.
just got perfect. It was like hellish before.
I
You
was
were
going-
like, you're going to be burned later on.
Yeah.
You're going to look like you have eczema with all the different spots. It was traveling all over your face. Not that that's a bad thing to look like. Try Resulti for ask your doctor about Exulti or whatever eczema thing. Is it just me or are there tons of eczema commercials?
Oh,
There's a lot.
Eradicate it with medication that could kill
I've
you.
never once seen eczema and gone, ew, that person's disgusting. If you have
Advil
eczema,
or something,
it's okay.
No, that's
but
icy.
try the meds. But like, if you do have it, I also don't care. And I love you. All right, I love everyone. Thank you so much. Don't be and just get tickets to see me in Seattle.